Hey party girls, it's Ilona Verley from Canada's Drag Race Season 1, and I'm here for Xtra Magazine's After the Sashay.
What did you learn from your time on Canada's Drag Race?
So much, so much. I mean, I obviously went to Drag Race and you don't really know what you're getting yourself into until you're there, but I honestly felt like I went to therapy boot camp. Like, I learned so much about myself, about who I am, about how I handle situations, how to interact with other people. I feel like I came out like literally a new person.
How do you think your presence on Drag Race impacted Indigenous representation?
I knew it was a big deal for me to be on the show. And so going in, I was like super, super conscious of it. But receiving all of the messages and all of the words from other Indigenous kids like around the world, not even just Canada, has been so incredible and like mind-boggling, and like it just touches my heart every single time. And I'm able to continue making these like really great connections with other people like me. That's been probably the best thing to come out of this whole experience, is just making meaningful connections and continuing important conversations.
Why was talking about your culture important?
For me, growing up, like I didn't know if I should be proud of being Indigenous or not. I got bullied so much for being Native. My mom is visibly First Nations. My grandma is visibly First Nations. I'm white passing, so I can walk down the street and not get harassed for being Indigenous. Whereas like my mom and my grandma, like they have come home and told me stories that spin my head. My hope is in being on the show, being super, super aggressive about being proud of being Indigenous, can just open people's eyes to knowing that Indigenous people, like, we've been here forever, we're not going anywhere. It's about time that we get respect that we deserve.
How has the show influenced you as a Two-Spirit person?
Going in to Drag Race, I obviously was very aware that I am Two-Spirit. However, at the time of filming, I was identifying as like non-binary, which for me at that point in my life was the best way to describe how I viewed myself. But after coming out of this experience and doing a lot of reflection for me, I can finally confidently and comfortably say that I do see myself as transgender. And for me to express that is still a very important part of being Two-Spirit, because there's Two-Spirit people who are trans, who are cis, who are non-binary, who are X, who are Y, who are Z. And it's like, it doesn't look like any certain thing. Being Two-Spirit isn't a gender marker. And I think there's a lot of confusion with that, with people who don't understand what being Two-Spirit means. It's who you are. It's how you handle your masculine, your feminine, and how you're in touch with yourself, And so for me, learning more about myself, it's just been such a journey of self-discovery. So yeah, I definitely think that the show has opened my eyes to a lot of things about myself that I was trying to just close my eyes to.
What was it like meeting Alix?
Yeah, that was so cool for me. Her music has got me through some really, really dark times. When my partner passed away, I listened to Old Habits Die Hard on repeat. That was like my song that like got me out of that. Being able to actually like get to meet her, get to be in the same room as her was so cool. Was so cool. Even watching it back, it didn't feel real. I'm like, did that actually happen? Was that edited? I'm like, no, it happened.
How did you feel sending two strong queens home after the lip sync?
I didn't expect to be one of the lip sync assassins of the season. Going into it, in my fantasy, I was never gonna have to lip sync. I was like, oh yeah, I'll just Sasha Velour it to the end. But much to my dismay, I'm not a good actor. I think the lip syncs definitely are one of the most memorable memories. When you are in that situation that's so unique to being on Drag Race, it really just creates this like immense bond and connection, And at the end of the day, we're all friends, so we're happy for who gets to stay. But we're also sad when someone has to leave. So it's just such a weird thing that most people never have to go through,
Looking back at your Drag Race journey, would you do something differently?
Absolutely. I went in there, and as soon as I walked in the workroom, I was in my head. And I put on a front. I was very like, my Instagram voice, I was very like, hi, how are you? I'm Ilona Verley, like, blah, 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 blah. Like, I was very like that girl, and like watching my confessionals makes me literally cringe, because that's not how I am. I kind of treated the runways like Instagram posts, and then treated the confessionals like Instagram stories. And I wish I didn't do that. I wish I would have just went and been myself and just like been me.
If it can't be you, which queen would you like to see win it all?
I really don't think I could pick a front runner per se. Obviously I have my friends, I have my family, I have my picks, But I think all the girls that are left have been killing it so hard and are all so deserving of winning the crown in their own ways.
What's next for Ilona Verley?
So I do have a brand collaboration coming up with a really iconic Canadian makeup brand. So that will be something that's coming soon. And then I also have lots of video content coming as well, because as you know, a lot of drag shows are now online. So yeah, just continuing to create, do art, and have fun, and just try to get through this pandemic in one piece.
One word to describe your time on Canada's Drag Race.
Let's just go with an easy one, and that will be iconic.